Yo, it's Sweet JP here, back with another fucking video, man. Back to grace your ears, right? So listen up. If your life kind of feels a little meh, like mine as well, it's not that you're sad or anything, but you're kind of like, I could do a bit more. You know, there's a reason. There's a reason for that, right? Uh, and I find there's kind of like three main things that you're probably not locked into like I was. I'm getting there, but that's what actually moves the needle, right? Three magic pillars, okay? You don't need all these self-help books or bullshit 10-hour routines. It's a lot simpler than that. If you can even just get obsessed with one of these things, or hopefully you know all three of them, but you know you can rotate, you can do whatever depending on how you're feeling. There's three pillars, right? Gym and health, money, because our whole fucking society is based off a piece of paper apparently. Social circle as well, who you're hanging out with, how good is your social life, essentially, how busy is it keeping you. We're gonna start with gym and health. You want to train like a fucking animal, right? Start with your body, non-negotiable. You don't gotta be a bodybuilder or nothing, but you gotta have your own high intensity in a way, in whatever category you want. Could be rock climbing, gym, whatever it is, right? You gotta train something physical, and don't be fucking half-assed about it, right? No phone scrolling shit, no TikTok trends or whatever. Real training, right? Heavy lifts, sweat, strain, pain, progress. You want to push yourself. Don't be a pussy about it, right? If you're going to do it, you do it fucking right? You're not going to die from squatting deep or hitting that last rep. You'll die from being weak and average. Now, I'm not saying that in that fucking red pill way, whatever, but it just doesn't feel good, you know? If you're at the end of your life, you're like, I could have taken better care of myself. I could have done this. I could have done that. Why not try to cover it or, make up for that so you don't be thinking that at the end of your life, you know? In cardio, thing is, you can be strategic about it, right? I do my lifts. I do what I like, right? What I enjoy, because there's no point in doing training you bloody hate. You gotta find some joy in what you're doing. That's all parts of life. It's simple, right? Cardio. I don't do 20-minute bloody stairmaster incline walk or those hit circles that feel like a bloody TikTok workout. Nah. I have a curved treadmill, bro, and I just sprint on that shit full tilt. I just do like three sprints, 7 seconds, yeah, 7 seconds each, and you hop on there for 3-4 minutes, bro. Slam that out. You feel like an absolute animal after, and you feel like an animal when you've done it for like several sessions. You're not feeling sick, nothing, and you feel fine after doing some full maximum tilt sprints. Holy shit. Oh, you know you can run, and you know you're getting bigger too. It's a real good feeling. It's a real good feeling, guys. And right, we're on to the juicy stuff. Pillar 2. Money. Money talks. Makes the world go round. But stack it, flip it, don't cry about it, right? At the end of the day, money does talk, no matter what walk of life you're on, from. Forget about all the broke mindset, all this crap or whatever. Just get a big chunk of cash, work your 9 to 5, do whatever, work bloody 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Do it like your life depends on it. Rush. Set a time frame. Like I did one for like 2 months, just being a night porter, whatever you can get your hands on. And I just spent like feck all money, And now for the next while, I don't have to do jack shit, and I can just go hit the gym and, make these cool videos for you guys. But what I did before is I flipped HHC, which was like a synthetic, YouTube sensor, cannabinoid, and basically I sold that just through, friends on the way back and forth to the gym that were on my kind of route. So it was real passive like that. But, it was real popular at the time. It was all legal. It just came in. So that was an easy way for me to make money. But I did fuck up. I didn't have the energy. I didn't have pillar 1, the health. I was, mouthing a little bit. I was feeling kind of a bit too anxious, lack of energy. I didn't get in the habit of doing stuff after the gym. I kind of just did feck all. I didn't scale it. I should have, maybe pitched it to shops. I did try. Should have pushed it harder. and I should have maybe sourced bulk bought from a manufacturer, but I simply just didn't have that chunk of money to do that, which was my problem, and I was too slow doing it. I was too, indecisive. I wasn't taking action. I was, too much in the planning stage. I was trying to do this perfect action rather than just do imperfect action, Because taking action is better than no action at all. I was stuck in that for a long time, just doing the same thing that I was comfortable with. But yeah, I basically would get the bit of money each week and then chilled. Yeah, do not do that. When cash hits, to secure it especially, you want to go harder and funnel it. Move it into something. Don't be afraid to spend the money as long as it's on something useful, like funneling it into stock, buying more product, or scaling up. Whatever your kind of play is. But the main motto is you want to work hard now so you can chill later. Because if you're in your 20s, early 20s, or mid 20s like me, 24, use the energy while you have it, because it's only going to get harder the longer you do nothing. So I'm still in the process. I ain't perfect, but I'm doing something. But passive income is, it's cute and all that. Passive income, you don't have to work. You have to build that shit up. Active money first. Trade your money for time, or time for money. Butchering that. Yeah, like it's, the analogy, what was it? Eat first, then plan the picnic. Boom. See that right off the top of the head, lad. Sorta. I definitely don't have it written down. Pillar 3, social circle. So stop hanging with losers, okay? And what I mean by losers is people that don't have your best interests in mind. Luckily, I was blessed with some good friends, but not all are, right? And this one, a lot of people fumble, Your friends will either hype you up or crush the idea you have before it even begins. So choose friends wisely in that retrospect. But also, if you're in a position where you don't really have, this isn't a thing that you have in common with your mates, you don't have to share everything. You can just, enjoy their company, whatever. And you don't have to talk about everything that's in your head, man. You can keep some thoughts to yourself. You can always have friends for different things. You can have friends for the gym. You can have friends for going out. You can have friends for whatever you want, stuff like that. You really want to be just intentional. If you want to make cool friends, like if you're looking to make new friends and just increase your social circle, just stop hiding, man. It's kind of, you want to be intentional, okay? So if you want to make cool friends, stop hiding, right? Hit the same bar, say, every Friday. Talk to people, See what everybody's about. See who's the regulars. Trade instas. This could be, applying, especially college towns. Jesus. Right. This will help build your circle. And, I'm in the process of this myself, pushing myself to go out just for 3 or 4 hours, somewhere new town, and say, people, hey, I'm here every Friday if you want to hang, when you're around. But I used to do that, and instead of, like, trading instas and stuff, we used to always trade, like, Snapchats in, like, high school, secondary school, when you would go out, So you would trade the Snapchat instead, and that's how I made a large chunk of my friends. You meet them out a few times, you get the Snapchat, you kind of familiarized with them, and then, you set plans with them. Now, clubs are a different story, but that's what it's like where I'm from. Pubs are kind of, can be solid if you go to the right ones, and there's younger people there. But you can always do, like, other things like gyms and other, hobbies or clubs, whatever. Personally, I don't like proper hard approaching in gyms because I'm there to train. But here, if you're comfy with that, do that. Find a place that works for you. But people are usually, most openly social in bars. But, big but, you want to have a clean Instagram. If your Instagram's completely dead, nothing there, it doesn't really show that you're very confident in posting stuff. So no one might take you very seriously, and it's kind of a form of vetting. If they see you're always going out, they're like, oh, this dude's cool, You're basically a ghost. You don't want a dead Insta. You need an online presence. I'm in the process of fixing mine now. But here, if you want a vid on how to not look like a ghost online, let me know. Maybe I can put something together with what little I know in my brain. And yes, make friends with girls too. not just to like
Say no
date or
more.
anything, but here it keeps your game sharp. It learns you to talk, vibe, read a room, and all that. Like if you can comfortably talk to, say I don't know, pretty women, like you're not gonna have a problem talking with the lads, is what I find, or in other walks of life. Confidence carries over. That's pretty much it. Health, money, social. Pick all of them and get obsessed with all of them, or pick one and get obsessed at a time. You
Just
know,
stay there.
and then just lock into that, stack the rest, and bro, you'll be a menace in a year. Hit the like button if you like that shit. Comment on which pillar you think, you need the most work in, and we can fix that. I
Sweet JP out.